My name is Bodie Udy. I farm in Blue Creek, Utah. It's about 17 miles northwest of Tremont, right along I-84, and we're in a little secluded valley. I've been farming out here in this valley since 1992, working with a couple family farms, and in 2001 I was able to start my own operation. I had a good friend of mine that let me pick up some land from him and start my own operation. And I'm married and got 3 kids. My oldest boy turned 15, and he's had a love of this land ever since he was born. Since he was in diapers, he's come with me every single day. He's not in school out here, and he's my right-hand man and does most of my tractor work and that now. And I love the dirt, and I love seeing things grow, and able to take care for it and do the best we can. Out here in Blue Creek, I farm right around 3,000 acres, and it's all dry land, and it's a wheat fallow. Rotation's what we do. We do grow a little safflower once in a while, but for most of it, it's hard red winter wheat. And in a summer fallow crop rotation, where we'll fallow one year, then we plant it in the fall wheat the next year. We incorporate little cover crops we're playing with here and there, and our normal yields out here we've seen struggle the last few years. Back when I started, we was up around 40 bushel on an average, and now we're down closer to 20 over the last few years. Last year we was down around 7 because of the drought, but things are looking good this year. But overall, over the last 15 years, we got around a 28 to 32 bushel average that we're kind of counting on every year. And as far as for our crop rotations, in our fallow year, we've switched to a minimum till operation, where in the fall we won't touch the ground. We'll come in the spring and spray it and get the weeds and volunteer under control, and then come in and work the ground when the ground's ready, instead of just trying to work it when it needs it. When the weeds are out of control, we're trying to work the soil when it's ready. And then as we go through the summer, we'll just go through and fallow if the weeds, and depends on the rains, if we get volunteer. And then when we go to the plant, we'll make one pass to get all the weeds and make a good seed bed to try and do the best we can. And we'll put usually a fertilizer application goes down right before we plant. Along with our drill, we'll put fertilizer down to help the plants give some start in the fall. And then after we plant, we come in the spring usually, and we'll give a top dressing of fertilizer, and come back and do a weed control and another top dressing of fertilizer, depending on how the crop needs it. We do soil samples along with tissue samples of the plant, trying to give the plant just what it needs and not overdo it, and try and just give it what it needs depending on the year and the moisture situation we got. We've been heavily involved in the CSP and other NRCS equip programs. Scott Furman, that I farm with and helped me get going here, he introduced me to the CSP and stuff, and I've been doing that for 16 years now. We've been involved in the CSP since it started. Been through several different sign-ups. And when we started out, we did a minimum till operation. So it took all our tillage practices out we was doing and helped us being able to do that. We spray more and helped us get equipment to do that. We got involved with a guidance system on our sprayers through the CSP. So it helps reduce our costs and plus the quality of job we're doing. We've done several things involved in the CSP. We've done minimum till. We also nutrient management programs in the CSP and pest management we've been involved with. And through the CSP and equip, we've got nutrient management plans we've been doing. We was able to put compost on some white knolls that we've had out here. I put 10 ton of compost on all the white knolls, then I ended up putting 2 ton across the whole field. And you can see a big difference in this field from before and after what it was. With the white knolls, they've thickened up, and you can't tell the big difference in between them now. The crop's even across it. Before, you get the white knolls, and you'd hardly be able to see any wheat crop. And now they're even. If you look across, you can still see a little wider in the ground, but you look at the crop, it's tall and even. And even the CSP that we're doing now, we've been involved in cover crops as part of that CSP. So we've been playing with that for 6 years now, trying to figure out different cover crops to do and times to plant it. And the weather's made a little challenge with that because of the dry, but on the good years that we've had moisture, it's been really neat to see and fun to watch the cover crops and what they've done to the soil. They have made our soil more lively. where them cover crops have been. It's a mellower soil. It's a challenge with the weather. This is our cover crop seed for the year. We got some spring peas in here. They're a yellow pea. Then in this bag, we got some different legumes in here. We got some radishes and turnips, some hairy vetch. And what we found out works best in the cover crop over the last few years is not to mix them together. The peas and the other stuff are different sizes. And we use an air drill, and what we do is put the smaller stuff into one hopper and the peas in the other. When we first did it, we had them all together. We had everything separate. So the first part of the field would be a pretty good mix, and then the middle of the field would be all the little fine stuff, and the end of the field would be all the peas. So we've gone to doing separate mixes so they're not together. That's worked out a lot better than it has first. It's just been another one of the learning curves that we've had to learn on how to do some of these different stuff. But even the non-ag areas we've had in the CSP and been able to help spray and control the noxious weeds and other weeds in them areas. So it's helped us do things like that we never would have done on our own without it, and give us the funds and the management skills and knowledge on how to do some of these things that we never would have done on our own without it.
I'm Jeff Schick. I'm the District Conservationist for NRCS here in the local Tremont and Field office. Been working with Bodie Udy on his farm here and a lot of other local producers. We've been helping them to implement the Conservation Stewardship Program. It's been a really beneficial program for the dryland farmers out here. Been able to implement a lot of different enhancements, make a lot of improvements to try to improve their sustainability and make it so they can be in farming for the long term. When somebody might be interested in the Conservation Stewardship Program, they'd come into the local NRCS office, so we talk to them about what kind of practices they're doing. We talk about the opportunities that might be available with the program, just based on what kind of their operation, the things that they're doing. We look into the program. There's a lot of different opportunities with the CSP program. We work with them closely. We go out and look at their farm, go out and talk about their operation in detail, and then we work with them. We show them which enhancements there are and which practices they can do to improve their operation. And it's been really beneficial to have some of the farmers that are involved in the CSP to talk to their other neighbors and to help to expand it.
And the one thing too, for new producers, is just know that the NRCS is on your side. They're trying to help you improve your soil and improve your land and sustainability. You know, they're not there to be the governing agent over you or anything else. They're there to do what's best for you and in your operation, and to help you build and sustain profitability and sustainability.
Bodie makes a really good point there that this program is not any kind of a restriction program. This is a beneficial program. We're really trying to help the producers to become more sustainable and to reward the ones that are doing they're already good stewards of the land. They're already trying to make improvements, and so when they see their neighbors doing the CSP program and they come in to see us, we help them to find new things that can help them to be even better. And that's part of what the stewardship program is to make those benefits to the customers that are already doing good things and help them to be better.
There's been some challenges along the way and some big learning curves we've had to learn about and overcome. Even cover crops is still a learning battle we're trying to figure out every year. With the moisture conditions is a big deal for that. Or even our minimum till, we've had to really learn some challenges there. The first few years on how to implement that right with the moisture and different conditions and chemicals to use, and along with the nutrient management, it had to really get out and learn and talk to several people and universities and try and see the different nutrients we needed and different challenges that our soils had, because especially where we farm, we have 100 different soil types in a mile area. So there's a lot of challenges on some of these programs, how to implement it across the whole farm and make it work and not just give up on some of them. There's sometimes that you just want to give up, but you keep trying, and the big thing is talk to people, talk to the NRCS and You know, there's different things you can do even in a program. You can tweak something that ain't working right, and we've had to do that on a few things that just ain't quite working right on our farm and need some help on how to implement it. NRCS planners were a big key in that, helping decide what works for us and what doesn't. So we didn't want to pick a practice that we couldn't make work in our area and don't benefit us or the ground. We're trying to do things to help it where my kids can have the same opportunities I had, and by doing these practices and different things, we're able to maintain the soil and keep it healthy and do different things where hopefully he has the same chance to do the farming that I have. And you look at it's really hard to measure success with some of these programs. It takes several years with the challenges of the weather and things, but when you look over the scope what we've done for the last 16 years and see where the soil's at today with the adverse conditions we've had, that we're improving the soil, and I'm hoping to leave it better than I found it and able to pass it on to my generation, and hopefully they have the same opportunity and can keep following these same programs and guidelines and help us keep going in the future.